I did not even bring my real camera out here with me today. I thought I would do a quick garden tour while the baby's asleep and the bigger boys are inside with her, and the garden is flourishing. And so I thought this morning, while it's cool outside and the sun isn't crazy, I would take you for a really quick garden tour of our garden this year. Okay, so let me show you where everything is. We have lots of pollinators in here today, which I was getting concerned because I hadn't seen a whole lot of pollinators. Of course, we have honeybees, but generally your honeybees don't go on your property. I mean, they will, but we have a lot of different pollinators. So anyhow, you walk through our front garden gate, and way all back here is our chicken coops and stuff like that. This is just the back side of our property. And then we have a row of green beans. It's about 350 bush beans. These are the Contender bush beans from Haas Tools, and they're doing really good. I've grown these in the past. I love them. This year I'm going to try to save some seed from them. They're great. They produce very, very well. Good large beans. So I definitely recommend these Contender bush beans from Haas Tools because they do a great job every year. I much prefer bush beans to the trellising beans. I don't have them this year, but we have done them in the past, and I just don't like them as much. I feel like the bush beans, especially the Contenders, they produce way more than trellising beans do. Okay, over here I've got my massive basil plant, which I am letting some of it go to seed, but then I've been clipping the tops off the rest of it. I'm gonna do a huge harvest on this and put it in my Harvest Right freeze dryer, and I'll show you guys how to do that. But herbs especially do better in a freeze dryer because it preserves all of their medicinal values and their volatile oils. Here's some sage that is starting to really take off, which is great. So I'll show you in a different video how to do that. Starting over here was our potato patch. We've already gotten those up. They did great. Not as good as I had hoped, but this is a brand new space this year. And so we're just gonna have to keep cultivating this space to make it better. My onions did not do very well this year. I think that maybe some of them rotted in the ground before they ever had a chance to grow. The rest just didn't do well. We had something come in and eat a lot of them, and it is what it is. The onions were apparently the crop this year that just didn't do anything. I've gotten a couple onions. There's still a couple onions left, so I'm gonna try to get them and keep them safe while they're here, but otherwise onions are a no-go for us this year. This next long line of produce is our tomatoes and peppers. And so I will walk through this line with you and show you various different ones we have this year. These are our Cherokee Purples. Look at this one. I am debating on pulling this big guy off. My goodness, he's so big. And I'm afraid that something might get to him. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. But these guys are doing pretty well. We had some blossom end rot issues beginning of the year, but we fixed that with calcium, and they've done well. Looks like some of these could be pruned. I've not been out here pruning. Oh, look at this guy right here. Oh, something's been eating on him. Gonna guess it's a hornworm for sure. Well, it might scab over. Sometimes things like that scab over. Like these leaves can be pruned, and I just haven't had time to get to them with the baby. Look at these guys. These are mortgage lift. No, they're German Johnsons. I've never grown German Johnsons before, but look how massive these tomatoes are. They are massive. So I'm happy with the way that these have been growing this year. Other than the blossom end rot in the beginning, that was a little bit nerve-wracking. But this side is all big slicers, and then when we get up here, there's some cherry tomatoes. Oh my goodness, look at this. This is a mortgage lifter. Look how big this guy is. Can you see him? Look. That's my hand, and that's a big giant tomato. So we're just waiting for these to turn red. These are our little sun golds. They're doing great. We've been snacking on those, putting them in salads, various different things. Look, here's another tomato that got eaten. I think it's a hornworm. We've been having hornworm issues, and you can see right here. We've been picking them off as fast as we can, but sometimes there's a few that stay on. I'm gonna avoid taking you down the middle because it's like the food forest in there. I'm gonna take you down this side of the tomatoes and show you what we have here. All right, we have Romas and San Marzanos. That's a red one you'll see, but it's dead. I've got to pull that off. That had some blossom and rot. These are doing great. But again, there's a little bite right there, and it's from hornworms. So we're gonna have to come back out here later tonight and look for them. But these are doing good. I don't really know that I will do San Marzanos and Romas again. I feel like they're really prone to blossom end rot. Like, I have done them for a couple years, and they always get blossom end rot. My Romas and my San Marzanos always get blossom end rot. And so, I don't think I'm gonna do anymore. At the nursery that I normally go to, they don't do Amish paste, so I'm gonna grow my own Amish paste from seed next year. Look at this. So we've been using this greenhouse fabric, and there's not a hole here, but there is a little hole. And so this weed, probably what happened is we had been weeding the garden and we either threw it over here and it kind of found its way down through that little hole right there, or it grew up through that little hole right there where the staple is. So garden greenhouse fabric is not immune to weeds, but it has worked really well. Look at this thing coming over here. Scared me half to death. Little tabby cat. The cat we inherited with this house. We didn't inherit the house, but we inherited the cat with the house. All right, moving on, we've got some peppers, jalapenos. My pepper plants are like diseased this year. I don't know what happened to them, but they're not doing very well. But I have gotten quite a few peppers off of them. So we've got jalapenos, lots of those. Big pepper plant right here. Poblano type pepper, and then banana type peppers. This plant just didn't even do anything. It just produced horrible peppers. So we're gonna take that as a loss too, though we've gotten some. And then here's some San Marzanos. They're down here. They're doing much, much better than they were now that we've amended the soil. We've got a few of those. And looks like I got a couple that might be ready down here. Yep. What? What do you need? Ah. Hello. How are you, Tabby? Yeah. Do you need food? Maybe. Maybe you need food. Whoa, okay, back behind me we've got cucumbers trellising up our cattle panel. We've not gotten any cucumbers yet. We've got two plants. Yeah, 2 plants on both sides. I didn't do a ton of cucumbers this year because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to keep up with them, but 2 plants will definitely give us a lot of cucumbers. Look at all these little cucumbers on here. There's a lot. So I think we'll be good. And then over here we have 3 squash plants. I planted 4. That one never really came up. We got quite a few squash off of these last night. We've already eaten some squash. These are doing really great. These are the squash, yellow crooked neck from Haas Tools as well. Planted these from seeds, and they always do spectacular. All of my seeds from Haas Tools do spectacular, so I really can't recommend them enough. Over there, like I told you in my last video, we have, or the last garden video I did, we have some raised beds that we were going to put topsoil in. The topsoil didn't come because it was raining. The goal is to have 4 there, and then probably 4 more on this side, and then 2 more I might put up near the house. But I'm going to put all of my herbs and garlic and onions and things like that in those. But we just didn't get that this year. It's a humble little garden this year. I was pregnant when we planted this. I'm not even sure by anything other than the grace of God that we got it planted. My husband working hard to get it done, and we've gotten a lot. I feel like we've gotten a lot of good produce from this garden so far. So that's it. That's our little garden this year. It's doing well. The landscape fabric has certainly saved us a ton of work. So I recommend it. A lot of people kind of scowl at it, but if you're in the season of life that we're in, it's a lifesaver to be able to grow your own food and not have to worry about spending hours weeding every couple of days. So I highly, highly recommend it to make your life easier and to be able to grow your own food in an easy way at the moment. All right, I'm gonna pick some of these green beans and then we'll get on with our day.